Hello everybody, I'm Beastly Eel, and in today's video we're going to be doing a Marvel character spotlight on not so well known X-Men character. His name is Robert Herman, although many others will know him as Glob Herman, or even possibly the Inhuman Torch. These are many different names that he has. Glob, Glob Herman has skin that is completely transparent and made of bioparaffin or living wax. Leaving his skeleton exposed, though he lives among other mutants, he easily stands out. So, Glob Herman grew up with a father who hated mutants and a mother who supported their family. When Glob mutated, his father started lashing out at him and treating him as a target to take out his anger on. Then one night his mother snuck him out of the house and drove him to Westchester and left him there, after Professor X was publicly revealed to be a mutant. At first he hated it being there, surrounded by mutants who he was raised to hate, until he realized that he was where he belonged. So fueled by his hate for humans and everything his dad had done to him, he joined the Omega Gang, led by Kid Omega. As they made their own stand for mutant rights with the Omega Gang, Herman attacked the humans whom they thought had murdered Jumbo Carnation, and later participated in the slaughter of a group of human. When the Omega Gang um, instigated a riot at the Xavier Institute, Herman had Redneck light him on fire as he ran after a bus filled with human civilians. Herman's plan was halted by Beast, Cyclops, and Zorn, who covered him in cement to put out the flames. As for his crimes, the X-Men sentenced him and the rest of the Omega team to fulfill various humanitarian works and aid those in need of serving a small sentence in human prisons. From After M-Day, Herman was one of the only Omega Gang members other than Quire himself to not lose his X gene. After finishing his humanitarian work, he returned to the X Mansion, which was now located in San Francisco, and took part in the move to Utopia with the rest of the X Men. Glob moved to the Jean Grey School for Higher Learning after Cyclops and Wolverine split. He made friends with Hellion and more recently Shark Girl. Hmm. After a trip to the Savage Land, Wolverine told the Glob that he was expelled and he had the time of the exercise to prove himself worthy. Instead, Glob preferred to join the Hellfire Academy by contacting Sauron. He also tried to convince Quire without success. Although being rescued with the non-X-Men students of the Academy after it was shut down by Sabretooth and Mystique, Glob was somehow uh, reintegrated, to the school in the Westchester County. Glob graduated to official X-Men status during his efforts to fight off a demonic invasion threatening innocent civilians. Um, as always, Glob was one of the many mutants that opposed the crazed X-Men from remaking the world. I'm sorry, the crazed X-Man. Sorry, Nate Summers from remaking the world in his image. When X-Men realized that his vision of the world would never come about with the X-Men around, X-Man made his enemies vanish in an instant, including Glob. In the age of X-Men, he created an entire different reality, along with a life seed. A world where everyone on Earth was a mutant and relationships were strongly discouraged or illegal. So, in this weird world, right? Glob was a student at the Summers Institute for Higher Learning, which was supposed to be their reality's counterpart of Xavier School for gifted youngsters. Herman was one of the students who was part of the Summers Institute's agricultural division. He was working on a chicken coop while he overheard Dean Angel welcoming a new student, Lana. During this whole time, a lot of the kids were picking on him because they thought the only way he could make friends was with the chickens. In fact, he would even write fan fiction, which was interesting enough because it was based on their real lives from their home dimension. But he didn't know that because at this point, none of them knew what was going on. It got to the point where he was getting picked on a lot by all the students there. Um, so then all went to this. So as time went on and they continued to train and everything else, they all went to this burning house, and Glob noticed that the flickers from the fire started to burn the paraffin on his hands. And shortly after the entire X-Men team arrived to contain the situation, Glob disappeared from the group by going home, received a knock on the door. As they opened it, um, they basically wanted to talk to him because they assumed he was the one that did it, and it turns out he was not. So during this entire time, right, um, this was a weird dimensional change out of everything. But after Nate Gray transformed all the mutants back to their original mainstream counterparts, Glob was eventually shown in front of the portal in the Danger Room prison complex with Anal and armor ready to return back to the real world. Glob later became a citizen of the New Mutant Nation, uh, Kroka. Krykoa. He was among the many mutants celebrating the recognition as the new nation. During his time there, he joined the New Mutants, where he aided Armor to pay a visit to Beak and Angel Salvador at their home in Nebraska to get them to move to Creoka. While they were ambushed by a cartel that found them through an anti-mutant website called DOX that reports appearances of mutants and publishes information on them, they were locked up in a basement. When they were attempted to escape, Beak was shot. Then Boom Boom arrived to help of the members of the cartel. The rest of the members of the cartel. Glob joined his fellow mutants and lived on an island as Creoka. However, at some point he was kidnapped by Maximilian Frankenstein, who turned his powers into a gun. And that was the last we had heard of Glob Herman. There was a character that was first introduced in 2001, and he was actually already has had a live action adaptation already. He was in X-Men The Last Stand. Although his body was a little bit different looking in the movie, where he still looked like his skin you could still kind of look like regular skin, but um, his stomach area was more looking transparent than the rest of his body. So his body is made up. So his powers are existing of. His body is made up of a bioparaffin, basically a living wax. This wax is highly flammable, allowing him to light himself on fire and also be able to fling bits of himself at other people. So flaming bits at people. He has superhuman strength, durability. His unique body makes him far more resistant to damage than any common human, and he was physically unharmed when a bomb designed to blow up the Xavier Institute blew up on him, and he was fine. And he also has superhuman speed. So the thing that kills me is they say all that, right? But his intelligence, his power grid obviously is out of 7. So his intelligence is a 2, his strength is a 2 because it's normal, and the intelligence is normal. His speed is a 2 because it's normal. His durability is a 3 because it's enhanced. His energy projection is none, and his fighting skills are a 2 because it's normal. So overall, in the grand schemes of things of being a mutant, he's not all that powerful, but he's been somebody who can easily be spotted, and I think a lot of people might have seen this guy in like passing and stuff like that, like when reading comics and stuff like that. But also the fact that he is one of the few mutants who we've seen have a live action adaptation that is not a well-known X-Men at all. So it's very interesting to see. Wonder if we'll actually get an MCU version of Glob Herman. We'll have to wait and see. But overall, let me know what you guys think about this character in the comments down below. And if there's a character you'd like me to do a character spotlight on, please let me know in the comments down below. And as always, if you like the content you see, please like and subscribe down below. Other than that, this is going to be Beastly Eel signing out. Have a great night.